Ladies and gentlemen, Leslie Hedland, the creator of The Acolyte, is fighting tooth and nail right now to cop a plea for the horrible show that is The Acolyte. You know, I don't think there's anybody in their right mind, right? You know, people that are not fans of Rey, you know, sane people that believe that The Acolyte is a good show, right? We hate this show. We despise this show. And the reason is not for what they're telling you that, oh, you just don't like it because of this, because of the lady, all that garbage. That's not why we hate your show, Leslie. The reason why we hate your show is because of this right here. Look at this. This is another quote by Leslie Hedland herself right here. Look at this. She just can't stop herself. You know, it seems that every time she has an interview, she's over here trying to explain the fact that she made a horrible show, and she's making all these excuses as to why The Acolyte is actually a good show. And now a defense that she's using is, oh, she's not trying to criticize George Lucas. She's just trying to show you a different point of view. Look at this right here. The Acolyte showrunner Leslie Hedland defends the series' portrayal of the Jedi. She says that it might feel like she's criticizing the Jedi as they existed in George Lucas' overview, but that's not the case. Now, this interview is on Bounding Into Comics, and by all means, go read it. Bounding Into Comics is a very respectable publication. I hold them to a high regard. But in here, you'll read Leslie Hedland's excuses, right, for making a terrible show, for making the terrible decision of making the Jedi seem like a bunch of bitches, bro. I'm gonna hold you. You know, the Jedi in The Acolyte is probably the worst butchering of a character in a fictional series that I've ever seen, right? Dismantled the whole premise of being a Jedi, right? The Jedi were supposed to be these higher beings that were able to use the Force, and instead of doing evil things with the Force, they are good. They do good things, but not in The Acolyte. That's not the case. In The Acolyte, the Jedi are stupid. The Jedi are weak. Right, they're over here being portrayed as these people that look down on the Sith. The Sith now, right? This guy right here, Smilo Ren, right? He is the good guy. He's being oppressed. And that's what Leslie Hedland is trying to tell you. She's trying to tell you in this show, in The Acolyte, that the Jedi are the bad guys. The Jedi are these people, these beings that they are oppressing their will on the Sith, and the Sith, they just want to be free, right? That's what he said. That's what Smilo Ren said, I think, in episode 5, I think, right? I mean, he said, oh, I just want to be able to express myself. I just want to be liberated, right? That's what he's saying. That's what Smilo Ren is saying. He just wants to be free. And that's what Leslie Hedland is trying to tell you. She's trying to tell you there's a different point of view to see all this. That the Jedi who have the power might be the bad guys from a certain point of view. And the Sith are just being oppressed. They're the good guys. Now, the reason why Leslie Hedland, get that picture out of here, by the way. You know, we don't need to see that anymore. The reason why Leslie Hedland is showing you this in The Acolyte is because this is a philosophy that these woke activists have when it comes to the world, when it comes to reality. And make no mistake about it, they are trying to use these shows, Star Wars, Marvel, all these shows, as tools, as conduits for their worldview. And one of the talking points for these woke activists is that if you have power, if you are in a position of power, you are inherently the bad guy. And if you don't have any power, you are inherently the good guy, no matter what. You can be a complete evil piece of shit with no power whatsoever, but that doesn't matter. You're the good guy. Or you could be a good entity, a good force. But if you have power, you're the bad guy. Case in point, the United States, right? And I'm not trying to get political, but the United States, which is inherently the greatest nation that has ever existed, a good nation, is viewed as the bad guy by these people, by these woke freaks, because the United States has the most power militarily throughout the world, right? We're the strongest nation throughout the world. Maybe not so much now, you know, things have gotten a little Biden, but nonetheless, that's what they're trying to show you. That's what Leslie Hedland is trying to teach you with The Acolyte. That although the Jedi have always been the good guys, they have always been portrayed as the good guys, because they have power, because they are the one in charge, they are inherently the bad guys. And this goes against George Lucas's entire premise for Star Wars, because make no mistake about it, Star Wars has always been a story about a couple of things. Father and son. Luke Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker. Then Anakin Skywalker throughout the entire series. And it's also been a story about good versus evil. Darth Vader. Perfect example. Menacing. Wearing the black clothes. He looks like a villain. He's meant to be a villain. The Empire, they do these horrific things. They build a Death Star to destroy planets. I mean, come on. It doesn't get any more evil than that. Going back to the prequels, Darth Maul. Darth Maul was designed to look evil. Everything about him was designed to look evil. He was designed to be evil. Palpatine, same thing. Anakin Skywalker, when he fell to the dark side, when he became Darth Vader, he was portrayed to be this evil being. I mean, look what he did to the younglings, bro. It doesn't even get more evil than that. But now, according to Leslie Hedland, right? That is genius over here, right? This Rey fan. She is telling you that from a certain point of view, the Jedi were the bad guys because they had the power. Because they weren't letting the Sith be who they wanted to be. Right? That's what she's saying. And that is the narrative that these activists, these woke freaks are trying to push now on you. And in doing so, of course, they are destroying Star Wars. That's why we hate the Acolyte. It's not because of the inclusivity or the representation. No. It's because it diminishes, it destroys, it defiles Star Wars. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think down in the comments. And like always, don't forget to subscribe. Sensational.